Hello! So I decided to read a book. It was recently, but not too recently. Anyways, I thought I'd share some facts and opinions about me book. Sadly, my kangaroo friends down in Austin probably won't be able to view this video about me novel. That's okay. I don't think kangaroos would really want to read. Bloody kangaroos. Tee-hee. Okay. I have to stop with my accent. I can hear myself and I sound so annoying. Alright. The Virgin Suicides was written by Jeffrey Eugenides in the early year of 1993, I think. Jeffrey started his successful writing career just by short stories in newspapers. In fact, The Virgin Suicides was his first novel. He later goes on and writes another novel, I believe, called Middlesex, and I actually heard that's a really good book. He's 56 years old, and let me just tell you how ravishing he looks in this picture. For 56, he's looking pretty good. A little better than me. Alright. The book is about a group of neighborhood boys. And no, they're not the virgins who commit suicide. Those would be the Lisbon sisters. All five of them. Cecilia, Lux, Bonnie, Mary, and Therese. Yeah, I know. Those are some pretty cool names. Although Cecilia is the youngest, she's the first one to commit suicide by jumping out a second-story window. I know, sounds like really bad. Oh, wow. Okay, so I just remembered Lux is definitely not a virgin. She has sex on the roof with, like, a ton of different guys and ends up doing it on the football field with the classic, bad boy stud at school, Trip Fontaine. But actually, Trip is actually really cute. Yeah, not gonna lie, if I was a teen in the 70s, I'd totally... Okay, anyways, the boys are actually the narrators who try to retell as much as they can about the Lisbon sisters. Their memories show that life in the suburbs was not always fun and innocent like they pictured to be, like the 70s show. Alright, the boys are much older now when they are talking about their childhood. They are ultimately trying to understand, why the girls would commit such a devastating act. One major theme in The Virgin Suicides is the horror of the mundane. The Lisbon sisters' deaths are catastrophic because they live in a suburban town where the crises and conflicts are just your average, typical problems. The girls see destruction where others would just simply see, objects. By presenting such mundane horror, the novel forces the boys to examine through endless details of ordinary life, hoping to find that key moment where something went wrong that would cause the girls to make the fatal decision. The mundane effect is much more devastating than brilliant. Tragedies can be kept away and guarded against others, but common and everyday events are inescapable. There are several symbols in the Virgin Suicides. One symbol is Lux's bra on the crucifix that a neighborhood boy spots and later steals. The bra on the cross symbolizes Lux's sexual rebellion against Mrs. Lisbon's strict Catholic rules, and that's showed by her habit of having sex on the roof, which I mentioned before, with a lot of different guys, a lot of strangers, and she gets really scared thinking she's pregnant. Anyways, the bra on the crucifix can also symbolize the critical narrative tension between the shy, suicidal Cecilia and the sexy, mischievous Lux. The Dutch elm trees throughout the suburb are another symbol that reflects the book's emphasis on the interaction between humans and their physical environment. The tree symbolizes the way in which the chaos of one is reflected and worsened by the decline of the other. The Dutch elm's disease presence can also mirror the arrival and spread of suicide, which the neighbors later described suicide as an infectious disease.
And you're my favorite flavor.
Motives. An obvious motive in the novel is foreshadowing. The deaths of the Lisbon sisters are announced in the book's title and first sentence, and then continually deferred. The foreshadowing leaves the reader to wait in morbid anticipation. I can relate my novel to all the teenage suicides committed today that have a mystery behind them. Suicides that shock people because the teenager had everything going for them and showed no signs of depression. It is the feeling of unknown doubt and mystery that brings us humans closer into that situation. We want to know why the person committed that devastating act, but we'll never know, especially if that person is a close loved one. All you can do is imagine how you could have prevented the suicide from happening. What did I think about this book? I thought the novel was excellent. I'd recommend this book to anyone in high school and above. Even though Virgin Suicides ends in tragedy, there were plenty of times I just bursted out laughing because the book's about teenagers growing up, making decisions, and of course you're going to have all those awkward as one ball moments, and just when you read about them, you can easily relate to them, and it just makes you feel like you're right there reliving it. It's hilarious. Jeffrey Eugenides is hilarious. I recommend any of his books. He's an amazing writer. So, yeah, go to the library, get this book, and read it. I guarantee you'll like it. Alright, bye.
Time's no matter. I'm on fire on the playground.